Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are here with Carrie, and I am so excited for you guys to meet her and to hear her VA school story. So, Carrie, welcome. I'm really glad to have you here.
Thanks.
So you joined the VA school group in April, and I would love to hear where you were before VA school in terms of having a VA business.
I didn't have one. I had decided in March that I could be a VA. My son had a couple of friends who he's like, "Hey, mama, you can do this." And so I just kind of started looking into it. I had kind of had no intentions of doing any kind of program. I was just kind of researching Facebook groups and didn't know. I'm like, okay, somebody else said, see if you can get a job on those. And then I somehow came across the VA connection, and the Kickstart challenge happened to be starting the next week. Well, I'm all for free. And so I went ahead and signed up for it. And that's how I got started with you. I did the Kickstart challenge. And at the end of it, well, during it, I had a one-on-one chat with you and just realized how real you were, how involved you were going to be. I didn't feel any pressure. You just asked me a few questions about, where I was, what I was doing. Encouraged me that you thought that, yeah, this could work for me. And then I got money in order and was able to sign up. Did it the last day and have no regrets at all since.
That's awesome. That's all. Thank you. And so when you thought about being a VA, like you did a little research, now here you are on the other side with how many clients do you have now?
I have 5.
5 clients.
And I didn't officially announce my business until the end of June. So I'm pretty
okay. Okay. So that's even like crazier, right? Fast speed. So how's your view of being a VA different than it was? Like, what did you kind of think it was, and what did it turn out to be, just in terms of getting clients, doing the work, things like that?
Well, originally I thought it was just admin stuff. And then I started reading the lists of what a virtual assistant could do. And yeah, I like to do the admin, the organizing, data entry and all of those things. But I also have a creative side. So I love designing images and logos and stuff on Canva. Built my own website. So now I feel confident in doing that for other people. I've done some updating of websites for clients. And so, yeah, I went from, I wasn't quite sure where I could take it. And now I feel confident that eventually our goal is that my husband can cut back to part-time, and that I can help pick up the difference on our family income.
That's awesome. I bet he's thrilled. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he's
great.
been at the same job for 28 years. So
Oh, yeah. So he wants.
thrilled to have not be having to be there.
Yeah, I can understand that. So on a, not necessarily a scale of 1 to 10, but talk a little bit about your confidence, because I remember you telling me you're a stay-at-home mom for a jillion years and you're a homeschooler, and now all of a sudden you're thinking, what the heck, can I actually do this? So how did your confidence shift during your time in VA school?
Well, yeah, I started out as, I had a thinking that I was just a homeschool mom, that I take care of my mother-in-law who's in her 80s, and I haven't worked outside the home. I've been married for 25 years. I've had a couple of part-time jobs and done a little direct sales, but I just hadn't had a job. So I think about not having experience per se to tell people about. But because of VA and your encouragement and the other people in our class of, yeah, but you ran 2 households. You take your mother-in-law and your kids to all their appointments, and you kept track of all of the things. Well, that's not any different than taking care of another client's calendar, or, keeping track of their clients. And with my direct sales, I had to do the follow-up, and, so there are all kinds of things that I learned, but I just needed somebody to show me. And in VA school, I was like, I got the encouragement that, yes, you do know how to do these things and you can make this a business. And that was a really, as you say, an aha moment, because I was like, I really can do this. And I feel that I can be successful. For me, the big part of my confidence builder outside of VA school that came from VA school is that I started networking online. And so that's where I was able to take our short, I am a virtual assistant, and, share with other people. And 3 of my clients are actually from networking, from people I've met through networking online. And so if you don't think you know anybody or know enough people, that is definitely the way to do it, whether it's networking groups locally or finding some online, and there are free ones available. So
That's awesome.
that's what where my main confidence. I mean, you guys said in study hall more than once that you could just see kind of the difference of me over those
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah. 100%. And I think the thing that I saw you discover, which was really exciting, is that clients want you to do common sense stuff. Probably no one came to you and said, can you stand on your head and build a click funnel for my marketing automation, right? They probably didn't say that. They said, can you do this, whatever this task is? And they probably explained it in a way that you understood, and they were thrilled that you could help them.
Yeah. And if I didn't know how to do it, I tell them that I can figure it out. And I'm pretty open that if it's something that I am, whether I can figure it out or not, and if not, I know lots of other VAs that I can say, I've got a friend. So
right.
That's been a really big part of this, is the friends that I've made and the other, the relationships that our class has that I know will last a lifetime. I mean, I don't expect just because we're done in October that we'll just all suddenly stop talking. So
yeah, absolutely. That's the thing that surprised me, because when I was developing VA school and thinking about it, that didn't occur to me. And the first time it happened, I thought, oh, wow, look at these women all coming together. And then the second time I thought, whoa. And then the third time I said to that group, so just so you know, you're going to be friends forever. And that's really what happens. It's really nice to not be alone and to have that camaraderie with people who are trying to do, and succeeding at the same thing. So tell us a little bit about the support you receive, because, some people think, I've done other courses, how is this different? And so tell us about the support, and did it surprise you? And how has it helped you with your business?
The support, as advertised, for lack of a better term, is the reason why I joined VA school. I'd looked, like I said, I wasn't really planning to join anything. I had looked at a couple of, and I was like, prices were outrageous. What it lasted, yours is lifetime, not the necessarily personal training, but I still think that down the road, if I ever have a question, I can ask you and you're not going to say, oh, sorry, your 6 months is up.
No.
Because that's not how you are. But with some of the other ones, it was like, okay, your time's up then, you don't get access to any of the materials anymore. It's all out. So I was able to look at the different programs, and then by yours, I was able to see what I was going to get long-term and have the support from you 2 times weekly. Now we're up to 3 or 4 times, which is great. And you're there in person. You're answering our questions. If you don't know the answer, you either look it up while we're right there on the Zoom, or you get back to us on it. And you're not just leaving us high and dry. You're available. And so your support's been great, as well as, like I said, our class has been very supportive. And we've got a small group chat, so we go back and forth. And when somebody has a question, then always helping each other out.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love when that happens. So what's been your biggest aha? Like the thing that kind of clonked you over the head about VA school, or about being a VA? Like maybe you didn't expect something to be a certain way, or what surprised you? What was an aha?
I think probably just that I didn't have to know it all. I didn't have to, I am a planner, and I like things organized, and I like things in order, obviously. But I didn't have to have everything set before I could start telling people about my business. I didn't have to have all the lessons done before I could start telling people. Now, because I am a planner, yeah, there were certain things I wanted to get done, but I set myself deadlines. I wanted to do, send this announcement email by this date. So I made sure I collected my emails by then. I wanted to send my first newsletter by this date. So and then now I send my newsletter. I've sent out 4 already and have my 5th one in the proofreading stage, so I've been just keeping things going forward. And I think that's the biggest thing, is just that I don't have to have it all done. I don't have to know it all. Everybody, people ask me about which CRM do you use, or which websites can you build on, or this and this. And it's like, well, I don't know them all, because until I need to know it, I'm not going to sit there and spend hours figuring it out. I'll do it when you ask me. and I'm willing to learn it, but there's just no point because there's so many different programs and stuff out there that you can't learn them all effectively and then use, I could spend hours learning them, but until you're actually using it, I don't think you're going to get a good feel for how it is.
I agree. I love what you just said, because I think it's one of the reasons that you've been successful is that you're not doing this procrastinating learning thing. You're saying, okay, when I need it, I will learn it, and I'll learn what I need of it in that moment. And that's a big thing, to be able to do that and to walk away and to feel confident enough in yourself so that you don't have to know everything. So I'm sure that's been part of your success. I'm 100% sure. So how does being a VA work for your lifestyle?
Like I mentioned, I do take care of my mother-in-law. Like this morning, I had to take her to get her blood work done, but we were able to go get her Starbucks because she likes her pink drinks. And anyway, so we were able to go do that. And I was still able to get back for a 10 o'clock meeting because I knew that this is how long it would take in town, and I could schedule accordingly. I can set times. My girls always have Mondays off work. So if they want to have lunch with mom, then I just don't schedule stuff on that day. So it's really nice that I have that flexibility. And that's why I can't, and not that I really want to, get a job outside the home, is because especially my mother-in-law, she's living alone. So I'm on call. I get those calls randomly that she needs me to come over for whatever.
Right.
And so that's just been the best part of being a VA, is I can set up my time and just the flexibility. And when my husband decides to take a Friday afternoon off, usually I have enough notice that I can clear my schedule and it's not a big deal. So
yeah, that's great. So you've got a lot going on. You've got your husband, you've got your girls, and then you've got your mom, and then your mother-in-law, and then you have a son who's training for Olympics, and so you can go see him as well.
Yeah, I haven't been out there since he's officially training, but yeah, he can use my office. That's the issue right now, because my office is his old bedroom. But
right.
But yes, he'll be out there for sure through next May or whatever, depending on how all the trials go. But
that's awesome. I guess what I was thinking was that you went to see him somewhere compete.
Well, I went. Yeah, I've been to a couple of tournaments this summer.
Yeah.
We just didn't go to California. We went to Ohio and Minnesota. Not quite as exciting.
Well, so one last question for you. What's your favorite part of VA school? What's the part you look forward to on a regular basis?
Has to be the study halls. The interaction with you and the other students. And I'm looking forward to the bigger classes, kind of the combined, so that we can all get to know each other. Sorry, the dogs decided.
That's okay.
And yeah, just that's what I look forward to each week, and the training that we get. And I always try and check out the chicken chatter and your other ones that are in the big group too, but because there's always something to learn, and always have my pencil ready and taking my notes and get smart. And if you guys are thinking about school, make sure you sign up, or you take notes and then you type them so you can search the notes or type them while you take them. But, because having notebooks is not the easiest way to flip back through and find stuff.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's great. It sounds like you have a really good system. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and your insights and everything you brought to this. I know there are women that are out there that are thinking, is this for me? And showing who you are and what it's been about for you is really meaningful, and it helps them make decisions about their own life. So thank you so much for coming, and I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Belinda.